What did you consider wealthy as a child? In kindergarten, a girl bragged that her mother had $100 and we were all very impressed. If someone had a house with stairs, they were rich. Having an in-ground pool at home. Having your own room. I'll go first. A house having a doorbell. Growing up, $1 million was seen as a magically large amount of money that you could basically do anything with. Ferrero Rocher, glass backboard and in concrete basketball hoop in the driveway. Getting a dessert in the lunch line. When I found out my dad's paycheck had a comma in it. LED shoes. The kids that would come to lunch with the boxed Lunchables. The ones with the candy and the Capricin. I always thought those were fancy. Those cool pencil cases that had all the hidden compartments. It was always the rich kids who had them. And they'd press a button and bam. Their ruler shoots out. People who lived in a house with stairs. Being able to buy food at school break time and at school lunchtime. iPhone games. Not the iPhone. The games. They were only 99 cents. I saw a kid with a bunch of paid games on his phone. Probably like $15 in total. And figured his dad was probably Steve Jobs' brother. Turns out my dad was just stingy who didn't like to waste money. That was a hard realization that 99 cents was a marginally negligible amount of cash. Coats and book bags with secret pockets on the inside. Having a brand new car. If a house had an upstairs. People that went on vacations. Having a dad who was actually home when you were awake instead of working 3 jobs to support you. Having separate water for drinking. Clothing that came from a place other than Goodwill. Families from church. Or Kmart. A fridge with a water dispenser. A house with a dishwasher. A home with a doorbell. Privacy fences instead of chain link fences. Hershey syrup versus the store brand. Kid cuisines. Having any kind of pool above a turtle pool. New clothes and shoes. A 2-story house. Any video game console. And having a minivan for some reason made me think as a kid that a family was rich. Having friends. A good family. Money. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark closing square bracket. A 2-story house. The rich kids that I grew up with lived in reasonably large single-family homes just like I did. Except their families could afford to have that same thing close to public transportation. Middle-class kids may have had material things but rich kids had freedom. There is an argument to be made that my family was rich compared to most people in the country. And in the world. But I take issue with that for this reason. I know how isolated we all were so that our parents could have a living room and a family room. A front yard and a backyard. Without paying out the ass for it. Even though they barely ever used the family room, front yard and constantly complained about having to maintain them. Going to a mall in a town 2+ hours away from where you live. I felt rich when I got £20 as kid and then blew it on a Lego General Grievous Starfighter. Pretty sure it was more than 20 though. If they had a new video game or CD day one. They were rich as hell. $1,000 because I saved up so much muni for years that I had around $1,000 and I went around saying I'm rich. I was in 1st grade. My mom accidentally gave me a $20 for lunch one day. I was in shock. I was rich. Everyone at my table agreed. And they were very impressed. I gave the change back to my mom. As I was a very honest little girl. Having nice dresses and eating chicken. Having a Kawahara. A Kiwi. Bags with wheels. Viennetta ice cream. https://www.streetsicecream.com.au/brands/viennetta.html for dessert. Book fairs and book orders. When I ate at friends' houses and everything wasn't generic brand. The video now my cousin had. Mechanical pencils. That fancy ice cream Viennetta and two-story houses. Dinky toys. Really nice metal models that could shoot missiles and stuff. Leather couches. Hardwood floors. Having a house with stairs. McDonald's for dinner. That used to be a rare treat. I thought that girls who had the latest styles and could go shopping every weekend came from wealthy families. 3 hot meals a day. A waterbed. People who had Nintendo 3DS instead of the regular DS. Also those who had the 96-pack Crayola crayon box with built-in sharpener on the back. The 64-count box of crayons. $50K a year. I remember corn and potatoes for dinner. 'Cause that's all there was. We got rich when the pigs were big enough to butcher. Having an iPad. People who vacationed in the tropics or Disneyland. Cable TV. Girls who wore outfits from limited to 1 cent. A girl from my middle school showed me the money her parents had given her to buy school lunch. That was a huge demonstration of wealth in my view of the world at 12 yo.